We each floated there, in the stillness of eternal night. It was difficult to make out how many of us there were still remaining, for the chosen form of some of my companions were barely perceptible to my eyes, or existed in dimensional realms I could hope to fathom. I recognized some of them from my travels, friends who offered kindness along the spaceways, crueler figures who sought only my death. We few remaining were an unhappy union. Some would call us immortal, though I only ever considered myself unfinished. The eternal night had grown vast, and we had each traveled far across the endless path of time, but we had gathered now together above a nameless star in a nameless galaxy, quintillions of miles from where I had been born. The star, undiscovered by any scientist from any of the lost survivors of the universe, had once been a giant, now weakened and barely holding together, the last star that any of us could find in all of reality. I had watched my fair share of suns passing away, bursting into energy across the eternal night, or sinking down into the emptiness of the realms beyond, the crushing strength of the black holes, gravity like nothing else imaginable. But though the end of a star brought no further surprises to any of us, this final celestial body, its own life-bearing worlds long left barren and crumbling, brought with it an aching sadness. We remaining few, some born 10,000 lifetimes apart, had gathered together to pay our respects. For this was the funeral of light itself. A holy man, seemingly as old as creation itself, spoke eulogy and blessing upon it, his words ringing out in our minds, for none could speak in the eternal night, even as we survived its pulverizing vacuum. An alien warlord, outliving the species he had once subjugated, praised the star for its power that had outlived all its kin. A gentle, ancient figure, neither male nor female, sung a lullaby to try easing the pain of the star's passing. I remained silent. I prayed only that with the star's death, at the funeral of light itself, that I might at last be done with my travels, that I too may pass on. We waited for what may have been days, if such a measure meant anything to one who had outlived galaxies. There was a somber air to the proceedings, even amongst those who had been cruel in life. At last, the core of the star cracked. A great energy seizing out from it, flares like whips, snapping out into the emptiness. A final wave of energy tore out, incinerating what little mortal matter remained around it, completely destroying what remained of its once lush planets. As the star faded off and the light left the universe, I felt a change around me. I strained my eyes, once superhuman in sight, trying to focus on my fellow undying beings. But there was no presence I could feel, no life left. The universe was empty now. The eternal night had overtaken everything, even the immortals, all except for me. I shrieked soundlessly in anguish, doomed now to an eternal night alone. I tore the robe from my chest and I beat my breast. I tried to focus with all of my strength on anything at all. And there, in an unknown corner of the cosmos, I saw her. Distant, unfathomably distant, yet clearer than ever before, her light like an astonishing beacon. Far away was she. Measurements didn't seem to matter in an empty universe. All I knew was that she was there. Emotions tore at me, like beasts. That it should come to this, the death of reality itself, all that I had seen and done, denied for thousands of years and more. And yet, There she was. I had said that I would wait until the end of all suns if I must, and wait I did. Had she been waiting all this time as well? Or was she a new arrival into this universe? A second Eve? Summoning all of my strength, I flew towards her light. The new star. The only star in all of the observable universe. My journey was soon to be at an end. At the very end.